of the first ones I love to throw in my go-to is a Gambler Mega Daddy. This is a white one, you know, real traditional bed bait. The one thing is with the Mega Daddy, it's a little bigger than your traditional bed baits, but the legs really kick. It's really easy to see in the water. It's a great way to start a bed up, figure out where a sweet spot is, see where your bait is, see how the male and the female are reacting to it. And it's a little bulkier too, so you can put, you know, an 1/8 quarter-ounce weight on it, and you're still able to pitch it fairly fluently. Traditional one, classic, you always got to have it. I don't use it too much anymore. Your basic lizard, man. In the end, especially down here in Florida, we actually have like these little gecko lizard things all over the place, so it's really natural. They get in those beds, they eat the eggs, they're nest invaders. Very traditional. A little weirder one that you California boys will probably know about is a zipper worm. Basically, that's a ribbed worm. Why do I like this? Well, I like it in a more natural color. This is something I'll throw after I've gotten the fish working a little bit, but I haven't been able to close the deal. These ribs on here create kind of an undulation or a vibration. A lot of bed fishing is about moving the bait without moving the bait. And these ribs, when you shake your line, you know, when you're kind of twitching it or you're kind of slack shaking your tip and that, these things will undulate and move in the water. It also has this real small ribbon tail on it, and those real subtle actions consistently kind of get that fish going. You know, you don't want to always be dragging the bait out of the bed, at least in most cases, and this bait allows you to get something in there and it's going to move even if you're just barely slightly moving the rod. This year, one of the ones that we've had a huge amount of success with, my little brother actually caught one almost 8 pounds on, is the burner craw. A lot of the sight fishing we do is on some really clear water lakes. They're smaller lakes, but they're really clear. You see down like 4 feet, the bass bed in like 4 to 5 feet. They can, especially the bigger ones. This burner craw, the new Gambler burner craw, they make it in a ghost gill color, which is absolutely killer, man. Like, it's perfect. It's got a green pumpkin with a little bit of silver fleck in it. Looks like a brim or even like a darker shiner that's down there. Perfect bed invader. The kicker legs also move with just the slightest amount of rod tip action, and it also has a nice bulky body in it. So once again, you got something to actually pitch. You know, some of those smaller baits are really difficult to pitch and get targets to and get them down on the bed, but that bulkier body with those kicker legs is absolutely awesome. So these are my, I can't get them to bite. That fish is sitting there, it's staring at my bait, and I can't close the deal. When that happens, I don't even know if they make these jokers anymore, but Bass Pro used to make these brim looking things. And basically, I will Texas rig this joker and just pitch it down there. The only trick with these is because of the body, they tend to spin a little when they sink, so they're a little difficult to get good placement on the bed. But let me tell you, like, I don't know if it's because they look like a brim, if the profile's more like a brim, but they piss the fish off when I can't get anything else to work. They have very little action, there's no kick on them, it's just got that flat paddle style tail, but I think that natural profile and that brim look to them really lights them up and kind of closes the deal. In that same vein, I got these rage tail deals, and these have also, I actually caught a 9 on this guy 2 years ago. What's nice with these, once again, you get that brim style profile. They don't spin as much as that Bass Pro bait, and then they also have your traditional rage tail little kicker legs, so this one will get a little more kick on the bed. Now overall, what I'm throwing these guys on is anywhere from 14 to 20 pound fluorocarbon on your standard like 7-foot medium heavy rod, real simple. I'll use anything from 1/4 to a 5/16 ounce weight, just, you know, pegged on, you put a little peg on your fluorocarbon. Sometimes if there are smaller fish or I'm fishing more rocky kind of stuff, less vegetation, I'll actually use a 1/4 ounce shaky head because it stands the bait up a little bit better. And we have drop shotted some of these, but overall, in the situations where you're finding these bigger fish, it usually relates to a little bit heavier cover. You know, there'll be some stalks of grass in that, and unless you're going to rig up a heavy duty, you know, drop shot setup, you really need to be on the bottom with 15 to 20 pound fluorocarbon, otherwise you might take a chance of losing that fish. So top bed baits, try them out, have an arsenal. You never want to just have, hey, this is my one bed bait, my one sight fishing bait, because in the end, changing out your baits, even within like 10-15 minutes, showing them something different, it triggers those fish to bite, pisses them off, and gets you rolling with those big ones.